Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about, International Women's Day, which was on March 8th, and financial confidence in investing. And I have two incredible guests with me today, Julie McLaren and Lisa Kennedy. So
Hi,
let's,
Lisa. Hi,
Hi
Sunny.
everyone. I've got a few questions for you, so let's go through that and just see how it goes.
Sure.
Okay, Julie, when did you first start taking investing seriously
Mm.
and planning for your financial future?
Sure. Yeah, this I actually do have an interesting story on this one. When I graduated post-secondary, my mom and my stepdad at the time sat down with me and congratulated me on finishing my school endeavors and gave me $1,000, and I was quite excited. But the second part to that was that they also made an appointment with their financial advisor and said to me, "You can't spend any of this money. It must go into savings, and you're going to learn about financial planning and gain some confidence in this whole unknown world to me." So I was 21 years old, and that's where my financial savings and journey began.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Start early, right?
Start
Um,
early.
do you remember what you invested into or no?
That's
Too
a
young?
really good question.
Yeah.
Some mutual funds at the time, but for me, it was more just we opened an RSP, our RSP at that time, and I leaned on the knowledge of my financial advisor. But more interestingly, for me at that time, it was a lesson of compound interest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So no matter what, you earn compound growth from any amount on the returns and the gains. So that's fantastic.
That's right.
Lisa, what, if anything, did you hesitate about investing?
I think
What?
looking back, the hesitation mainly started with doing something new and unfamiliar, something I just didn't know very much about. Also, I had a false sense of the risks that are involved with investing. I thought it was only high risk, which, learning it is not. The third thing, I think, just realistically seeing if I would have enough money after I paid my bills. When I was young, when I started, I was also young, and just seeing, would I have enough money after paying all those bills to put aside for investing?
Right.
So once I really sat with someone, figured out a budget, had some clarity on that, I was able to move forward with working with someone who I felt comfortable with to start my investing. So definitely just having not the right information on how to invest. So learning about that and making sure I had a budget that I could put money aside to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So both incredible because you started so young. Did you
Mhm.
find that your advisor that you were working with was educating you at that time and you felt comfortable enough to keep progression and keep investing?
Yeah, I really learned a lot at that young age, so
Okay.
I felt very thankful.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
the advisor that I was using also the same thing, just taking the time to explain the
Mhm.
details to me and explaining all about the different risk levels that you can get into.
Now, here's an interesting question for both of you. Do you remember if they were women advisors or men?
It was a man advisor at the time,
Hmm.
the first gentleman that I met. And I don't, Sunny, maybe you can answer. I would have to suspect that maybe there's been some growth in female advisors, but that traditionally, is it still a male-dominated field?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, it is male dominated, but there are women more and more, and they're trying to attract more women into the industry.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Um, where are we? What advice would you give women about building financial confidence investing?
Yeah, actually, that's a great question. A good lesson that I learned early on was to have like a little emergency fund. So I always set that idea in mind that it would be 3 months, that if something happened
Hmm.
to me, that I would have income to help me through 3 months. So that was a good lesson early on. And the second thing is, I know Lisa and I both talked about investing early, and that's amazing. But for me, I can speak for me, that was 30 years ago. So as time went on, it's changing my goals. So having that goal. So at the beginning, I think it was even just like 25 or $50 a month. And now it's looking at that bigger goal to say, what maybe I'm trying to save X amount of our ESP for kids, or trying to, in my 30s, it was save for a car, or save for a trip, or save for a house. So just having that financial goal that you can continue to put money into.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Great.
know what's funny, Julie, that 3 months, you taught me that.
Ah, cool.
You told me that a long time ago, and you taught me that.
Amazing.
Emergency
Yes.
fund.
Thanks for sharing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Important, right?
Mhm.
Because you never know what's going to happen or what could happen, and it's important to have. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Lisa, last question. What has been the most important lesson you've learned since becoming an investor?
Definitely consistency and patience. Realizing small contributions will add up, and staying committed to the plan, trusting the process, realizing that this is a long-term strategy. It's not short-term. Definitely not looking at those investments every single day and driving yourself bananas, looking at the long-term effect that it's going to have and knowing it is, again, the long-term strategy. It just makes the experience much more manageable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Nice.
So in closing, start early, stick with the plan, educate yourself, and I guess that's pretty much it,
I
right?
can add one
Yeah.
thing to that.
Okay.
Choosing a trusted advisor like you, Sunny, knowing that if I
Oh,
have questions, I can come to you openly and you will answer. I don't ever feel silly or I don't ever feel that there's a stupid question. That if I don't know something, I feel very comfortable coming to both you and Jeff saying, can you help me out with this
oh,
one? So thank
yeah.
you.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great chat. Talk to you later. Have a great day, guys.
Take
You
care. Bye.